Ahoy there, all you majestic creatures out in YouTube land. This is Analog Hoove here once again. And you see, today I am very excited to be bringing you an amazing, incredible, awesome match of complete and utter awesomeness. No, this is not a complete and utter horrible molestation of a bunch of scrubs. This is a legitimately great game. I was on a good team. The enemy had a good team, and so pretty much what you have is nearly half an hour of incredible battlefield action. The type of thing you can only find on the Battlefield games. You're never going to see this in Call of Duty. And this is what I love about this game. I mean, yes, I like just curb stomping a bunch of scrubs. It's fucking great. It's one of the most pleasurable things you can do in life. But sometimes when you just get into a great match, your blood starts pumping and you just start salivating at the thought of the battle. And this is one of those things. So this is going to be probably a three-parter, and sort of divide each section into things to talk about. But first of all, I want to talk a little about my team here. I'm not playing with a super stack team. I have one really good player with me. It's a fellow who shows up on here by the name of HDE Trixie. And by the way, HDE stands for the Honeck Driving Experience. And Mr. Honeck is the other guy on my team here, HDE Time Rip, who, let's just say, he gained that name for his, let's say, interesting driving abilities, both in real life and in games. He managed to flip choppers in Battlefield Bad Company 2, because he's just that awesome. But realistically, he's not that great at first-person shooters. However, he can follow directions well, and his style of play is, as he would put it, very Islamic. Give him some C4, tell him to go blow something up, and he'll fucking do it with absolutely zero regard for his life. So actually, as a team player, he's quite valuable. So, I mean, in the end, he doesn't have that great a KD, that great a score per minute, but heck, he can get the job done sometimes, and that's really what counts. I mean, once again, that's a great thing about Battlefield. Not everyone has to be a frickin' pro on the sticks to be able to contribute to the game and have fun while doing it. But anyways, the main thing I want to talk about this time around is tanking. Sort of how to do it, the good, the bad, all this fun stuff that you really should try to learn if you're going to take Battlefield 3 seriously, and this is more than just a holdover for you for the next couple weeks until Modern Warfare 3 comes out. And, I mean, remember, this is Battlefield, people. Vehicles are where it's at. If you're not taking advantage of the vehicles, you're not playing the game right. Anyways, the big thing with the tank, and I'd say the main battle tank especially, is they are the most valuable weapon in, if not just Conquest, the whole game. I mean, even more so this time around than they were in Battlefield Bad Company 2. Because first of all, they made them a lot more tough. They can take an absolute beating, and they have rebounding health to an extent. Now, if you've sort of played a bit of this game and really haven't figured out tanks quite yet, here's how it works. Pretty much after you knock a tank below 50% health, it starts burning up or bleeding out. I know, but sort of weird way to describe it, but that's really the case. And then you need to repair that tank back to full in order to stop the bleeding. Once again, weird term, but hey, that's what I'm using here. Anyways, so when you're fighting a tank and you see the tank disabled thing come up, that means you've knocked it to about 50% health. That means it's starting to burn up. That means if you just leave it be and the enemy doesn't repair it, eventually it's just going to explode. And so once you see that vehicle disable thing pop up, if you're fighting that tank, keep shooting it. It ain't dead yet. And you want it to be dead, because it can still fire there. It's not going to be moving very well, but it will still be blasting away. So don't stop firing at a tank until it explodes. And that brings me to my second point, really. If you are playing a tank, you pretty much have to be engineer. And the main reason for that being is repairing. I mean, this is especially true if you're not playing on a team, because a lot of people are still figuring this game out. They really don't understand that, hey, I'm an engineer. It is my job to repair people. That's what I have to do. And so, really, you should try to be your own repairman. It's not always the most fun prospect having to jump out of your tank and top it off every now and again, but sometimes that's really your only hope. So be prepared to play NG. And not to mention, a really good tactic is, let's say you're in a very heated battle with a tank, an enemy tank, blasting away at each other. After you fire a shot, while you're waiting for the shell to reload, pop out of your tank and blast the enemy with a rocket. They won't see it coming, and it'll be surprisingly effective. Now, I use that tactic a lot in Battlefield Bad Company 2. Haven't used it so much here yet, because generally I've received okay support from my teammates. Once again, playing on a actual team, ridiculously valuable. So that's really what you want to do with the tank. You want to be able to repair yourself. The more self-reliant you can be, especially by yourself, the better you're going to be in this game. However, you really need to play. I cannot emphasize that enough. I've said that multiple times in every Battlefield video I posted. I'll say in every single Battlefield video I will ever post, you want to play as a team. Just find some people, somewhere, some way, somehow, and if you do that, you'll find this game just becomes so much better. See, but anyways, the other thing I have to say is, like I said, especially in Conquest, tanks are the shiznit. And they're almost too good in a weird sort of way. I almost feel that whenever I play Battlefield, whenever I play Conquest, I simply have to grab the tank. And the main reason being is, like I said, it's just so valuable. It has a lot of health, it can set an objective, take it better than any one person can. It can blast down cover no problem. It's just so useful. And I just feel that there's so many people who don't know how to use it properly. And heck, there are a shitload of people in this game at this point who just completely ignore them. And like I said, you pretty much have to whip out the tanks to really do well in this game. Like I said, especially in Conquest. Otherwise, you're just going to suffer. So, because of that, I just feel like, alright, I know how to use a tank. I know to grab the frickin' tank to begin with. So I simply have to do it. And a lot of these Conquest maps just really emphasize the use of tanks. They're fairly large. And, they give you one or two, or sometimes even three of them. You simply have to exploit the resources that are given to you. And then the result is I get good games. And I post pretty good scores. I think the final score in this one, not ruining anything for you, hopefully, is, if you want to wait till the end, go ahead and cover yours. My final KD for this was 30-7, which, all things considered how tough a match this was, is pretty dang good. And the vast majority of it was due to tanking. But, once again, what this means is, yes, I do well, however, I get tired of it. One great thing about Battlefield is the variety. You can fly choppers, fly planes, drive tanks, run around like an infantryman, snipe long distances. However, in the interest of winning and doing well, I just always feel compelled to grab a tank in Conquest. And it doesn't always make for this best, most interesting gameplay either. I mean, I played pretty much nothing but Conquest the other day, with this group of friends here. And once again, we did really well. We won the vast majority of our matches. Plenty of kills, quite a very few deaths, but 90% of it was me just raping the enemy in a tank. And how frequently can I just post videos of tanks and tanks and tanks? I mean, hell, if I was getting bored of doing nothing but tanking, I imagine you guys would kind of get bored of just watching tanking. But regardless, you play to win. I'm no exception. And look at this guy. This guy's just a freaking beast. I don't know how he survived so fucking much. Goddamn world exploded around him. He gets shot with a light machine gun. He gets shot by another freaking tank shell there, and he's still okay. Whatever. That's the other thing to remember tanking. Light machine gun or heavy machine gun as one of the add-ons. Very good idea. Same with the speed reloader. Okay, now that's about the end of part 1 of this epic. So please, like I said many times, I'm very new at this. I would love any and all responses. Any criticisms, good, bad, that's all very much welcome. If you like it, really like it, go ahead and sub. You can always unsub later if I turn out to suck. Thank you very much, sir, for watching and listening. Have a great day. See you later.